What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video, and today we're gonna be getting into another interesting video topic. So today we're gonna be doing my Cleveland Browns versus Pittsburgh Steelers prediction video. I'm gonna do a hot take video on some of the hot takes that I think may or may not happen in this Monday night showdown against the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. But today it's gonna be a prediction video. So I'm gonna go down and give you guys my prediction with a score. So the Cleveland Browns play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's give you guys some insight on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has not lost a Monday night football game since like 1990 or 1981, something crazy like that. Since before I was born, since before I was thought about. They haven't lost in. I think Mike Tomlin is like 19-2 against the Browns. They beat the Browns with Baker Mayfield that one time where Big Ben retired on us. That was a bad game. But they had Baker Mayfield. And it was not good for the Cleveland Browns. They don't have Amari Cooper. That's not good at all for Cleveland. And Cleveland just simply has not beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh since they kicked their ass in the playoffs. But in the regular season, they haven't beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh since like 2001, before I was born again. So, interesting thing about this is just the history with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns. Usually, people gets fired after that Pittsburgh game. So Woods got fired. Baker quit. Odell quit. A lot of guys get fired. So I don't see anybody getting fired this week. I hope not. Hopefully everybody can just stay healthy and stay, injury free on both sides of the football. Now Pittsburgh is without Cam Hayward and their number one receiver with Deontay Johnson. So Pittsburgh and the Browns both without their wide receiver ones, but the Cleveland Browns get safety Juan Thornhill back, and Pittsburgh don't have Cam Hayward. Now, an interesting thing, I seen something about George Pickens having a hamstring injury before. He probably will still play, but that's something to monitor and watch. I don't think a lot of people was thinking about it covering. If they're without George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, who are they going to throw the football to? So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to break out what I think from both sides of football. I think last week I started for the Browns. So I'm going to start, like I said, I'm going to keep going on with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, that's dominated the Browns for a very long time. Now, let's not be like idiotic here. We know why these long-ass streaks that the Browns got to lose in the Pittsburgh long streaks of them beating Cleveland. We know why these streaks were here. These were terrible football teams they were playing. They were playing like Brian Hoyer, Baker Mayfield. These are terrible. Deshaun Kaiser. That's why they were getting. That's why these records against Pittsburgh is so dramatic. Pittsburgh was in its prime, had Big Ben, AB. Big Ben was there for a long time. Mike Tomlin been there for a long time. Name me one time the Cleveland Browns had a consistent head coach that played them, or a consistent quarterback. This is the first time that, Stefanski is one of the only head coaches to play Pittsburgh this much. But the history is there. Pittsburgh always beats Cleveland in Pittsburgh, no matter what the team has been. Now, I will say it's a dramatic difference with this being the first time the Browns is favored to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. This is the first time in a very long time. Probably, once again, back into the 1990s. It's the last time the Browns was favored to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. So, it's that mental hurdle over that. Can the Cleveland Browns overcome that? Can the Pittsburgh Steelers and their fans, they're going to feel like this is Cleveland. Cleveland is Cleveland. We're going to beat the shit out of these guys. That's how they're going to feel. Excuse my language. That's how they're going to feel. So how do Browns react to that? Now, a couple of these guys have been here. Miles, DPJ, Dinoku. But Watson don't know nothing about this. Watson don't feel no to Pittsburgh. Watson don't, Deshaun Watson is 6-3 in primetime games. He has a 115-yard passer rating in primetime games. Watson likes playing in big games. This is a guy that's won the national championship. And this is going to be his first big, meaningful primetime game that hopefully is not weather impacted for probably like the last 4 years. So Deshaun lives for those big moments. A lot of people don't like that. Don't know that. Don't know that about Deshaun. He kind of lives for those big game moments, and he plays fairly good. You could probably go over his career. He's probably lost like 3 out of 12 big games in his entire life. So, and that's including like all the primetime games I already mentioned. Now, what I do want to go through and say, as far as Pittsburgh, they can try to run the football. Najee Harris has had good success against the Browns teams a little bit. Pat Freiermuth will be a major weapon for them. And we got to monitor Pat Freiermuth's targets just because that might be how Pittsburgh moves the ball up and down the field is while using Freiermuth in the middle of the field. That's where Kenny Pickett gets very comfortable. And he's like going out and getting that done. So the Pittsburgh Steelers will try to run this football. We'll try to make this a grinded out, slow, nasty game, which you kind of don't want to do because that's what Mike Tomlin is good at. You can't play them at their own game in their house. So Pittsburgh's going to try to, versatile, get up the field mythologically, dumping the ball off to Najee, dumping the ball off to Warren, passing it to Freiermuth, and maybe hitting George Pickens with a big play here or there. That's the way Pittsburgh is going to try to win this game. Letting their defense shut this Cleveland Browns offense down for them. And like you said, a major concern with Amari Cooper being out. Now Pittsburgh, they're very confident because who's going to be that go-to guy? Is it going to be David Njoku, Elijah Moore? That question still remains unanswered for this Cleveland Browns team, is who their go-to guy is in big moments. That's another thing to bode well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They also have a coaching advantage. Mike Tomlin, he's the best coach in football, if not top 2. He's right up there with Shanahan, Belichick, and Tomlin. That's top 3 in my opinion. You could go like, your Andy Reid's and stuff like that. But Tomlin's up there. He has the advantage over Kevin Stefanski. And that's where everything's going to come down to for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their defense, attacking those edges, attacking Jed Wills. They got a rookie right tackle starting. Pittsburgh is going to attack that. So Pittsburgh is going to try to get after the quarterback, create some interceptions, create some fumbles, go ahead and get Nick Chubb out the football game while also running the ball with Najee and using the middle of the field with Freiermuth. That's the way Pittsburgh is going to try to win this football game. On the Cleveland Browns aspect, the Browns defense, if they're playing the way that they played in week 1, is a overwhelming favorite against this Pittsburgh offense. This Pittsburgh offense only have George Pickens, and the Browns got a guy they got a guy that can stay with George Pickens and Martin Emerson. A big body receiver, likes to get physical. George Pickens is the ideal wide receiver comparison to Martin Emerson from a cornerback standpoint. Martin Emerson is going to mirror him really well. It should be a Martin Emerson coming out party, really. A lot of people should be able to come away from this game like, wow, Martin Emerson has allowed 1 catch for 8 yards in 2 games in the NFL as a 3rd-round pick. So as the Browns, you don't really know if the Bengals offensive line was better than what the Steelers are throwing out there. They don't have any wide receivers, and all you have to really worry about is Freiermuth and Kenny Pickett's legs, be quite frankly with you. So, Jim Schwartz over Matt Canada, that D-line over their O-line, our corners over the Pittsburgh Steelers DBs. The one mismatch is Freiermuth on our linebackers. But other than that, it's a pretty overwhelming favorite for the Cleveland Browns defense going against that Pittsburgh offense. Now, this Cleveland Browns offense going against that Pittsburgh defense, we're going to try to attack Patrick Peterson. If I'm the Browns, I'm going to try to attack Patrick Peterson. He got absolutely fried against Brandon Ayuk last week. I think Elijah Moore can do that same damage at work. I would try to use Cedric Tillman in the passing offense. I would try to get him out there. They don't got a lot of film on Tillman. He played a lot in the preseason. You know what routes he's kind of good at. And he got a chemistry with Watson somewhat because he's been practicing with him. I would get Tillman out there. I would really use a heavy dosage of David Njoku. This game should look like David Njoku about 50 receiving yards, Elijah Moore about 50 receiving yards, Donovan Peoples-Jones about 50 receiving yards. And then we got a couple sprinkles from here and there. That's how that game should look. It's evenly spread out against the across the board for Moore, DP Shea, Njoku, and then throw some Cedric Tillman and Marquise Goodwin in there, and you call yourself a day. I think you're going to try to, like I said, attack that secondary. Besides Mika, their corners is pretty weak. Joey Porter Jr. is a bright spot. He's a good rookie. Don't know if he's been battle tested yet. He didn't start last week. So if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm dialing that up and I'm attacking those corners. And I'm also trying to negate that pass rush by running up the middle and getting Nick Chubb downhill against this defensive line that's without one of their best players, to Cam Hayward. Cleveland Browns, that's what I'm doing. I'm using the heavy doses of Nick Chubb. I'm using the heavy doses of RPOs. And I'm getting the Browns out there, and I'm trying to attack these weak spots of this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, which is their corners. You want to stay away from their DEs. They got some really good edges. They got a top 3, if not top 1 safety in Mika Fitzpatrick. I've been watching a lot of names today, but Mika Fitzpatrick. So if I'm the Browns, that's what I'm going to do. Now, Tomlin, as a defensive coordinator, even though he's not the defensive coordinator, he's a defensive-minded coach, has a little bit of an edge over Kevin Stefanski as an offense. So it's going to come down to who makes the less amount of turnovers, the less amount of mistakes. And the only way the Cleveland Browns, I think, will lose this football game is if they make the mistakes to lose this football game. I don't think we'll come away from this game saying that, Pittsburgh Steelers just simply outplayed them. The way this game's going to happen, if the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to win, they're going to create a lot of turnovers. They're going to get Deshaun Watson to turn the football over, hold the football for a long time, create some strip sacks, and then milk the clock away with Najee Harris in the run game. Tire that defense out. That's going to tire that pass rush out. That's going to be the way the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm running the ball with Nick Chubb. I'm passing it, and I'm attacking Patrick Peterson. I'm getting Elijah Moore involved, taking a couple of deep shots while I can. And really keeping that defensive line and them edges out of the game. I'm using my defense to completely shut Kenny Pickett down. You guys just went out there and shut Joe Burrow down. You should be able to shut Kenny Pickett down. The defense should be able to hold them to under two touchdowns. They didn't give up a single touchdown last week. There's no reason the Pittsburgh Steelers should have more than 2 receiving touchdowns going out of this game. I'm gonna pick the Cleveland Browns to win this game. I'm gonna pick this game 20-7. I would go 21-7, but I'm gonna go 20-7, or we could go 20-10, either or. We say 20-10. I see this Cleveland Browns winning this game. I think Nick Chubb runs for $115. I think Deshaun Watson throws for about 200 passing yards. He runs for about 30 yards. I think this Cleveland Browns team gets about 175 on the ground on rushing, and I think they limit and hold Kenny Pickett to under 11 points. That's gonna be my prediction. I got the Browns winning this one, improving to 2-0 in the division and 2-0 on the year, and Pittsburgh falling to 0-2. It's your boy Will. Let me know how y'all feel about this prediction video. Comment down below what you think and give me your score predictions. Hit that subscribe button, man. Join the game. I'm about to drop my bold takes for this game very shortly. Y'all should probably be seeing that Monday morning. I'm out. Peace.